What's up, party people? Today we are looking at Dekaron's Blood and Plunder update, which just released last week on the 26th, which is kind of funny because it says March 18th here, but I'm pretty confident it was March 26th, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But let's take a look at this. I can tell you just from the start, it's not much different than what we've been seeing, but it does have a couple good things that are definitely worth looking into. So let's take a look at this. Greetings, Dekaron. This week continues the trend of adding life into classic content. That actually right there makes me really excited because there are tons of dead dungeons and content in the game that have no purpose, so I'd love to see them get more use. With new daily quests for expedition content, quests are available from both Karen's Expedition and Nest of Cherubium. I can't pronounce that. So just looking at this immediately, it did. Focusing on these expedition dungeons kind of bothers me just a little bit, just because they're really annoying to do because it's hard to find players to do them. So that's my only issue with that. So for the first one, which is the Nest Expedition Dungeon, they are going to give, let's see, there's a large XP drop for taking down the boss, and that is 250 million experience points. Now, I will say, looking at this, initially, 250 million experience points is not very much at all, especially given the amount of people that you need to get together to make this happen. If this scales with experience items, then maybe it's okay, but once again, having to get 12 players or whatever kind of makes it not worth it. Looking at the drops that have been added, so you got the Karen Bell fragments. This item in general, I feel like should just drop everywhere in game anyway, because it's a good PvE emblem. I don't get why they're making it so difficult to get this or why they're doing it as a seasonal thing. It seems dumb to me. I think it would be a really good emblem for just your run-of-the-mill player to be able to farm as they play the game, but for some reason they want to keep this exclusive, and I don't really get why. And yay, they drop in this dungeon, but guess what? You're going to be splitting that drop between 12 players. Same thing with all these drops, so it's kind of what's the point? Grandmeister skills, that's good. If people are actually running this, which maybe the first day, second day people ran it, but I bet after that no one's really running it. These will be floating around in the market, so that's better. 10% wet weapon socket stones, that's good. Independent necklace, that's nice to have, especially if you're trying to upgrade to one of the other ones. And then you've got your Moonlight Wings, which are still very good, but not top tier anymore, but at least there's wings available in game somehow. And then the other one is Kashu and the Qualines, and that is the Hell Herald Expedition Dungeon. I'm slightly confused by this because I know there's two dungeons over there, and someone might have to help me with this. But I know there's the one. I don't know if they're both expedition dungeons but I know there's two dungeons there, and I'm not sure which one they're talking about here. So I'm probably gonna have to look into that. But if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's kind of a hard dungeon, and it's you. I mean, you definitely need multiple people to complete it. I'm not sure. I think this is the one that people glitch, where they trick the boss out of the room so you don't have to deal with the AoE damage on the floor. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into this. But once again, I don't know if the expedition dungeons are what should be focused on, to be completely honest, just because it's hard to get that many players together anyway. So he'll still include the submerged sailor rank. So yeah, I think I'm thinking of the right guy. But he'll be carrying new treasures, including the faded pirate coins, which can be used for these majestic earrings, to its coral and garnet stages. And they also drop these sockets right here. I guess the VIT 30 is kind of nice, but honestly, no one uses Medial's 189 and no one uses Guard Bijous anymore. These are completely outdated. There's really no point of even having these. And then with these, there's the HP versions, which are still bound, which is super annoying. This would be way more worth it if these were the HP gems, just saying. These are, no one really uses these, just, so they're kind of dead to me already. I don't know. See, when I look at this, this event right here, this to me is kind of already dead before it even started, because it's a couple people might do it, but it's still just kind of unrealistic, and I don't know. I just don't have I don't have a great opinion of it. I do want to touch on this Mystic earring, or sorry, not Mystic. I keep saying Mystic, but this Majestic earring. The requirements you need for making this even initially are actually really high. I didn't notice this in one of the previous patches, but to get the like base earring, you have to get 1,000 cardia. Yeah, 1,000 cardia. Now, that's ridiculous to me because you can only get cardia in solo dungeons. So like realistically, you're only getting a couple of those a day, and you need 1,000. So you're telling me that this is going to take me, what, like a year? Like, I mean, I know they're tradable, so I guess you can get them from other players or you can run it on multiple accounts, but that just seems like a lot of effort. I don't know why they're making it so hard to get. It's not even like they're offering this stuff in the D shop or anything. They're just making it really hard to get for, in my opinion, no good reason. It's like, why do you want someone to have to farm something for like over a year in order to get it? Like, I don't know. I don't understand that. The earring is really good. Look at this. You know, like, this is a great PvE earring. Like, fantastic. I would love to get my hands on this. I just think it's kind of like ridiculous. Like, it's hard to get for no good reason, in my opinion. Like, I don't really understand. But I don't know. I think I'm going to do a video where I try to see how many cardia you can get in a day, and also I'm going to try to look into these faded pirate coins. So if we switch over here, I'm going to quickly switch over to the game here, and if you look, so for the Majestic Earring upgrade, you need these jewels. The jewels aren't too hard to get, actually. Like, right now, they're even dropping from the event. And in addition to that, you can farm them in the I think it's the Boz and Rudine, or the Rudine dungeon. Yeah, you get like 2 parts and you make them together. So, like, that's not too hard to get. But 1,000 cardia is just insane to me. And then for the next upgrade, you need these pirate coins. Once again, these are probably going to be really hard to get. And then Shining Cardia, I actually have no idea how you get these. It says can be acquired from Karen's Transport, so I'm assuming it's that same dungeon. I don't know where in the dungeon they drop. I know I have a couple on one of my other accounts, but like, I have like 5. So I'm like, I don't know how the heck you're going to get 200 of these. And then you need 600 for the next one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. To me, like, I look at this and it's like almost not even worth looking into. And I don't really understand what the point is of making a piece of content and then, like, you're not even going to be able to do it, or there's no, like, good explanation of how to do it, or, like, it's unrealistic. So not a huge fan of this earring setup so far. Although I'm hoping that maybe they make some better way to get those pieces so that we can farm these earrings. Because right now it just seems a little unrealistic to me. But I'll do some testing on this and we'll make some videos about it. And then the other interesting thing they added to the Nest dungeon, I was calling it the Nest dungeon because I can't pronounce this, are these Torn Wings that exchange for these Rage runes, which is really interesting because unlike other runes, they're consumed when they trigger, but you get about 28 million experience points for it. So, not bad. And this is a individual reward. So, like, even just running the dungeon on its own, like, you just get this, which is nice. Like, it's not like split between other players. So, you know, if someone was running this dungeon a lot, I could see this being worth it. But I just don't see people running this dungeon a lot, just to be honest. And then there's also a quest, once again, 200 million experience, really not that much, and 1 DK coin. Okay, it doesn't really make much sense to me. Anyway, let's get into the good part of this update. We have our dungeon drive, which is still in effect, and if you didn't know, this dungeon drive event is crazy overpowered. Like, if you want to farm graces and stuff, you know, get on this right now. The Forgotten, the Forgotten stash, which still drops in the Underground Temple and Sacred Claw. Showing up. We see it showing up in Forgotten. I guess the secret stashes are in Underground Temple now, but the Forgotten stashes are still in Sacred Claw. You can farm all this. Once again, really big thing. If you don't have a wedding ring, this is a really good time to get it. I haven't seen a single one of these cozy gifts here, so I don't think this is the best place to farm that. If you want to get the cozy gift, which is for these down here, you should be farming the Boz dungeon. Which is in the Dravis Village, because there's actually a 100% chance that you might get the cozy gift, so that's a lot better. But we've already seen this before. Great update, super worth farming. Don't waste your time. Farm this, 100%. And if you want to get your hands on some pretty good earrings, we have the white candy earrings and the Valentine's chocolate earring exchange box. Now, I don't know the stats on the Valentine's earrings, but the white candy ones are actually really good, and they're tradable. They're good for PvP because they give 5% PvP and 5% DDR, which stacks really nicely with one of like the moon earrings. And it gives, I think like 300 destroy and 10k attack, or sorry, 10k HP, not 10k attack, to 10k HP. So very good PvE earring, or sorry, PvP earring for sure. Definitely worth farming. Right now they're actually worth quite a bit too because these are kind of hard to farm. So if you want to farm that, jump on that for sure. And they were saying here that unfortunately the final encounters in Ruins of Boz and Forgotten Ever Temple are still rudely stealing the items from their stashes. So a good way to do this, probably like for Boz, I'd recommend like killing like the first couple bosses and then just relogging. It's probably going to be the best way to do it, but you know, you can do whatever. And they made some changes to the platinum box here. There's a buffed up guard bijou. You know, they got the curse and the lightning stones, which are nice. You know, there's enough of these floating around in game right now. They're not that hard to buy, which is kind of nice. Although I do still think they should be available outside of the premium items. Okay, and then they added the Cosmic Egg, which has some pretty good stuff in it. They added a bundle for that if you want to buy that. And then this week they added a new Crest costume, and they revisited this costume, which is called the Witch costume. I'm kind of disappointed that this is the costume they decided to revisit, just because I never liked the look of this costume, just to be completely honest with you, like on any of the characters. So this is not one that I'm interested in even a little bit. I also want to point out here, I think it's kind of annoying that, you know, in order to get the costume, like you gotta get a random box. It's like, if you want to get the Crest costume, why can't we just buy the Crest costume? I still find that annoying. I think it should be a fixed price. And I think like if they have a costume that looks really good, you're going to see a lot of players buying that. Just my personal opinion. And then Niter Scrolls now correctly instruct you to trade it with Descato and Matera. Because they made that change recently, but this is where you do it now. I wonder if the old trade is gone now. We'll have to check that out some other time. Anyway, yeah, that's your Blood and Plunder update. Overall, I'm really happy about the dungeon drive stuff. I think this should be looked at, to be completely honest with you, the earrings, but I'll take the dungeon drive because that makes me really happy. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, as always, you can leave them in the comments. And until next time, take care.